So I was just talking with them, and I said, one of the great things about brain surgery is when I'm in the hospital, I get to control the remote on the TV. And, she laughed, and at the end of her genuine laugh, she said, "Ha ha, not while I'm there." Hey guys, Alec here. Well, sitting here the night before the next neurosurgery and just thinking a lot about it. And one of the interesting things is I've never actually been conscious the night before neurosurgery. You'd think that with as much practice as I have, that I'd be used to this kind of thing by now, but no. So one of the things I did was pack up my stuff. I'm going to be in the hospital for about a week. First day, surgery and then ICU, and then going through another 4 or so days in the regular hospital. But it's been interesting. When I first found out that I had a brain tumor, I was just like, okay, there's another one going on. I should be good at this, so we'll see. And then thought I'd joke around because jokes make everything better. So I asked Dr. Gergel, the first neurosurgeon I met with. I said, are you like Neaters? Do you have like a buy one get one free, or once you buy 9, do you get the next one free? So I've had anywhere between 8 and 9 skull perforations by a surgeon. So I was thinking, it's time to redeem the coupon, be able to get one. And then when I was talking to the next neurosurgeon, Dr. Reichman, I said, they should have put in a really good zipper instead of just staples, because then you could just zip open and you wouldn't have to cut and staple anymore. So he didn't like that though. Neither of them liked that. But I did. Made me feel better. So what they're going to do, actually let me back up. So the way they found it isn't from the 7,800 different MRIs and CT scans they'd done before, but I had lost hearing in my left ear, and it went down slowly, and I had gone into an audiologist, gave me a hearing aid, and that helped for a while, and then all of a sudden it was just gone, and I was looking at the hearing aid being like, what the crap, this thing isn't working anymore. And so I went in, and sure enough, all the hearing was gone. The only thing I could hear was pain. And then they're like, well, we could go in and we could try to get the process working again. So they stuck a needle through my ear and injected my eardrum with steroids. And I've always been a skinny guy. I think steroids are like, sweet, it'll get stronger. But it didn't work. And it was probably the most painful experience I've ever had. And that's coming from a guy that's broken his spine in 5 places. That it was just a needle that gave me the most pain. But that didn't work, so they brought me in for MRI, and they were able to see the tumor in the MRI. And so they went back and looked at the old MRIs from 2 years ago, and sure enough, there it was. They just hadn't really been focusing on that back then. They were just trying to keep me alive, which they did a great job. Kudos to them. But then they outlined and said, okay, you have 3 options. You can do nothing, but there are some risks. They can gamma radiate that, but there are some risks. And you can do surgery, and there are some risks. So after weighing all the options, surgery seemed like the best thing to do. So in this particular area, where the tumor is, also called a acoustic neuroma, there are 4 different nerves. And so there's 2 balance nerves, 1 facial nerve, the nerve that connects your brain to half of your face, and then an auditory nerve. And my balance has been off a little bit. The hearing's gone completely. And the facial nerve, because that facial nerve isn't affected right now. I can go like this. And I want to keep being able to do that. And even though I'm married, you know, I already got the ring. I still want to be able to have her be happy with who she married. So wanted to be able to smile all the way. Um, so we didn't want to put off the surgery anymore. But we've had a great time putting off the surgery. You know, went and traveled, did a bunch of great stuff. You know, posted some fun videos. So, you know, their dad is not very good at keeping all these things for the boys to be able to see. So just putting it on YouTube, putting it on Instagram. They can always go back and see it. So it'll be fun. And so what they're going to do is they're going to drill a hole in my skull right behind the left ear, and then they're going to you know, fish around a little while, be able to find the tumor, and then they're going to cut it out. And what they're going to do is they're going to go after those 4 different nerves, and they're going to try to cut out balance, acoustic, and leave the facial nerve. So that's what they're going to be trying to do. And so as I was asking them, I said, well, you know, what happens if you sneeze? Because there's not a lot of room to play in there. And I have to be there at 5:15 tomorrow morning. And if I feel like it needs to happen, I'm going to bring in a couple Red Bulls, just so both the neurosurgeons will be awake. I think they will. I got them to prescribe certain rehabilitation processes, I'll say. So one of them is my balance will be pretty jacked up. So they said I'm going to have vertigo, where the room is spinning as long as my eyes are open, so I'll have to retrain on how to be balanced so I can walk. So I'm going to be walking very frequently for a while. So they said every 15 minutes or so, they're going to get me up and I'm going to walk. So, alright, we can do that. And I also had them prescribe a different vehicle of balance. As you surf and as you paddleboard and mountain bike and ski, balance is a little bit tricky. And that's why I tried to paddleboard as much as I could before to get the balance, you know, fine-tuned before all this happened. And so they're prescribing skiing, which I totally support. You know, the faster you go down and you turn, then your gravity's a little bit different, your balance is a little bit different. You got to learn for it. And then same thing with biking. What they're going to do with the process is one, you know, drills the hole, and the other one does the fishing. They're also going to go into my stomach and plug the hole. So they won't be able to replace the skull. And so to try to mitigate any cerebral or spinal fluid from leaking out the hole in my skull, they're going to take belly fat and plug the hole. So it's like putting a cork in a wine bottle, right? Just kind of shove it in there. Then they'll stitch it up, and for the next month, I won't be able to lift anything over 20 pounds. So no throwing the kids up in the air, which I think their mom is pretty excited about. And that's what I'll have to do. No lifting, no raising those ICPs like before, because that's why they removed the skull before, because my ICPs were too high. So I'm very aware of ICPs, and so they'll take fat out of my belly, plug the hole, stitch me up, and then, you know, send me on my way. Then after a month, I'll be able to lift whatever I want. As I'm in the hospital, I need something to do. I go a little bit crazy in hospitals, and so I'll try to post more. Try to, you know, chronologize. That's not the right word. Try to make chronicles, I guess you'd say, of the process, because I'm not the only one that has an acoustic neuroma or has had, and you know, everyone has hard times in their lives, and it's just how they deal with it. You know, I can't snap my fingers and make it not happen, but you know, you just do with what you got, do the best you can, and you know, today was awesome. Had a fun time with one of my friends, one of my best friends, going shooting for a while, and then met with a bunch of doctors, and then came back and went to dinner, and just had a really fun time. So, crew gave me a ton of hugs, which I'll always take, and as I was sitting next to them tonight. They had both finally fallen asleep after Cade, the exuberant one, sits up, goes, "Love you, Dad," lays back down, throws his head in a pillow, and just rolls over. And very soon he's out. So I just knelt down beside him, said a little prayer with each of them, and they're truly the best little boys I could ever hope for. Love them a ton. My wife is a freaking stud. She's been through so much and does so much so well. That really only points to one of my skills, pretty much my only skill, which is sales. I convinced her to marry me. I'm glad I tricked her into it. It's kind of funny. I had known one of the other ladies in their neighborhood before I even started dating him. And this lady comes up to Em when she hears that we're getting married. And she comes up and she kind of says with a sigh, but a little bit of a smile, she goes, "Well, you'll never have a dull moment in your life." And so far, that lady has been completely accurate. So, yeah, if you have any questions or anything, post a question, text me, text them. We'll need something to do. I'll be stuck in a hospital for a week, and that's never fun. So, any good thoughts, prayers, or good vibes, send it our way. We'd appreciate it. And hope you have a great day. Have fun. Love the people you're around and treat them well. Thank you.